Coming up on Takedown with Chris Hansen.
Hey, Sheriff, no, stop!
This man in Livingston Parish, Louisiana, is a repeat offender.
You just gonna pretend like you don't hear me?
And while he gives me the silent treatment at first,
Well, you just think I'm gonna go away?
it turns out to be an interview you don't want to miss.
Why would you engage in this sort of irrational behavior?
Bad decisions.
That sounds like a bit of a cop-out to me. I hope you're enjoying this free full episode of Takedown on our YouTube channel, but there's something you need to know. There are literally hundreds of new episodes either in production or on our streaming channel right now, uncensored. Watch TruBlu.com. Use the code YouTube25 to watch all of the episodes for $2.50, or for an annual subscription, use YouTube Year for $20 off. Also, and this is very important, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you on TruBlu.
Livingston Parish, Louisiana Sheriff Jason Ard and I have teamed up to identify and arrest potential child predators. And during this recent investigation, one man has surfaced who has been through it all before. In 2016, then 17-year-old Jonathan was arrested in Baton Rouge, Louisiana for possessing and distributing a video of a sexual encounter on school grounds with a 14-year-old girl. He was given light punishment, a chance to rehabilitate. But here he is again, talking online with a detective posing as a 14-year-old girl. I have the chats. They are graphic, and it seems that Jonathan didn't learn his lesson because he calls the decoy posing as the minor to get directions and plan his hookup.
How long do you think it would take to get here?
I mean, being honest with you, I really would like to have her actual address just so I kind of can tell you that, because from what the street you gave me, it's supposed to be like 32 minutes away, so that's not that bad. And I'm leaving here at 4, so I probably can get to you by 5 o'clock, and I'll probably hang around. We'll probably fuck like maybe 30, 45 minutes, and then I gotta go to my nighttime job. And I get off my nighttime job around 10 o'clock, but you told me you don't want me to come in too late, so I probably can't come back later on tonight.
Okay. Well, I guess let me know when you're on your way and I'll send you the actual address.
Okay, that's cool. And it's just you at the house by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this will be your first time fucking?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. It'll be, like I said, I'm gonna take my time with you. I'm gonna be real gentle with you. And if you tell me stop, you know, I'll pull it out and I'll stop and be ready to put it back in, okay?
Okay.
Alright, so I'll text you while I'm at work, and then like I said, I'll text you like when I'm leaving and stuff, alright?
Okay.
Alright.
Alright, bye.
What a considerate fellow, huh? This is the previous offender.
The previous offender?
Pornography involves juveniles and felony carnal knowledge of juvenile, 2016.
Got it.
That's in the chats.
Great.
Beautiful.
And so he was saying he gets off around 5?
Yes.
He's going to get off early.
Around 4.
Around 4, so he'll get here.
Around 5. He said he's got to stop at the bank first.
Good. Give me a sense for the scenario of this chat.
So we're just using an undercover account. We met with him on a social media app today. You know, once
So
started
he's
talking.
a bit of a fast mover. This
Yeah,
one.
well, he was not too much at first, but once he finally crossed the line and started talking, kind of sexual, dirty stuff, and then from there he wants to meet. He knows my age. Supposed to be a 14-year-old female, and then he's got prior history of doing this kind of stuff.
So in 2016, he gets in trouble for child porn, essentially, and having sex with somebody who's underage.
Yes.
And here he is, 9 years later,
No.
thereabouts, right back at it.
That's what it seems like.
What does that say about a fellow like this?
Obviously, he didn't learn his lesson the first time, and
It's danger to children.
yes, it's just an ongoing thing. He's not going to stop.
And what do we know about the fellow? What does he do for a living? Do you know?
At the moment, I do not.
Give us something to chat about when he gets here.
Yeah, so we'll learn that in just a little while.
All right. Perfect. Thank you.
In the text chat, the detective asked Jonathan to bring the girl a few snacks. He calls from the store to confirm the shopping list.
But they got sour crawlers and there's like regular Skittles.
Can we just do like regular Skittles?
Okay. And I got you 2 Cokes and I'll get you a water.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I'll be there in like probably like another 20-ish minutes.
Okay, be careful.
Alright, see you later.
All right, bye.
While Jonathan finishes up his errand, we all get into position. The decoy leads him into the apartment. Jonathan then tries to follow her, so I step in right away.
Hey. Hey. Gonna need you to have a seat right on the couch, please. No, I need you to sit on. You don't want to trust me on this.
No, I do not.
No, you don't want it.
I don't.
You don't want to leave.
Sheriff, no, stop! Hands behind your back. You got this.
As sheriff's deputies put him in cuffs, I grab the bag of goodies he brought for a 14-year-old girl.
Come on over here, Jonathan. It's Jonathan, right? Jonathan? What did you bring here today?
Just,
Let's take a look. What do we have? Some Skittles? Coca-Cola? Water? Who are you going to see here today? Now, I know a lot about the chat earlier, and I know a lot about your background. So I think it would be best if you just explain to me what you were thinking by coming over here today. Explain.
Jonathan is at first silent. I'm guessing because he knows how this all goes down. But I don't think he's prepared for me to be armed with the transcript of the text messages.
Good morning, baby girl. This is Jonathan. You asked for a picture. She tells you she's 14 years old, but her birthday is next month. You have a couple phone calls with the girl. And then it gets more graphic, Jonathan. So you're going to be home for a few days. She tells you she's going to be alone. You ask for her address. And then you follow her right into the back there. What were you thinking? I can slide by as soon as I get off work. Where do you work, Jonathan? You just going to pretend like you don't hear me? Wear a cute little shirt and some booty shorts. Also, at least send Street Eddie, because I'm from Texas and I'm new to the area. I'm a rub on your cute ass booty, you say. What did you mean by that? She asks what you want to see. You say, your ass, and you in a bra and panties. This girl's 14, Jonathan. I'ma suck on your titties when I pull up. We go into your room or in the living room? Looks like here you were gonna follow her into her room. You weren't even gonna wait on the couch. You were right behind her. You like to take back shots or get on top, you ask. Also, you like kissing. If you like how I handle you, I'll be sure to come through every day till your mom comes back in town. You don't have anything to say about all this. Jonathan? What, do you just think I'm going to go away?
No, sir.
Okay. So why don't you help me to understand what your plan was here today? Come on.
I had a second chance at life, and I just wasted it. So I lose the rights and custody to my son. That's the only thing I'm thinking about right now.
How old is your son?
That is my personal information, which you probably have access to.
So you have a son. And what do you mean when you say you had a second chance at life?
It's not over, so I must take responsibility for my actions.
You're going to take responsibility for your actions, and how are you going to do that, Jonathan?
I thought I changed to be a better person, and I feel like I have been, but still make small mistakes because we're still human.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a good thing, but it's a realistic thing. And we have enough social media to where you can watch the Vlad videos, the videos that use such content. And you have to understand that even if you think you're not a bad person, in some ways you still are a bad person. And as much as you change, freedom that I used to have will probably be gone away. And I have to understand I won't have the custody of my son anymore too, which is a true shame for me and for my child.
It is a true shame. You know, I've got kids too. I mean, I understand as a father what it would be like to lose custody of a son.
I really can't say that you could understand. I say divorced men probably would understand, and those who don't have the right to see their son, you know, they feel it more than anybody else.
It sounds like you've been going through a struggle. Take me inside that struggle, John.
I want to warn you that what Jonathan tells me next is his struggle with depression, potential suicidal thoughts, and the incident with a minor that landed him in trouble before.
Personally, I deal with depression and suicide tendencies like anybody else, and I've been working through that with people that I have around surrounding me, making me a better person, and I believe I have been doing that. Again, small tendencies and small mistakes that lead to great, great consequence.
Have you been going through therapy?
I have a support group.
You do have a support group. And is that with other fellas who've been down this road before as well?
No, just individuals that I trust to speak to about certain issues that I have and talking to them about it and working through it.
Got it. And what happened previously that made you go through all this? And how did you get a second chance?
Got into a certain incident in school when I was 18 with a girl that was younger, but she told me she was, at the time I was 17, at the time she was supposed to be 15, she wasn't. Got in trouble with that in high school, and I never could forget what the guys who told me when I got arrested and got in trouble about it said that if I ever go to jail, I'll be registered as a pedophile and all freedom will be taken away. And I almost committed suicide that night in jail at the holding cell. So at 26, it seems this is as far as I'm gonna go.
You're 26 now.
This is as far as I'm gonna go.
And the previous incident was when you were 18?
Yes, sir. 17 at the time when the incident, 18 at the time when things came out.
Things came out. And how old was the girl in that?
She was 15.
She was 15. So 17 and 15 does not seem like a big age difference.
No, sir. But again, I was younger, and I thought I learned from such lessons.
And how did you get caught by the law in that circumstance? Did a parent report you, or how did that all happen?
The girl sent out the video, but the students got the video, and then it just got back to me, and then I was in trouble for that. And I went through a very long process of attempting to go to school and not making it in school, and then I started working my butt off. But again, all those such things are about to be taken away, so 26 is as far as I go.
So just to be clear, there was an incident between you and another student. You were 17 at the time, she was 15. And you recorded a sex act?
I did not record it, so she did.
She recorded it. And it got out. And you got in trouble for that with the law.
Yes, sir.
And what was your punishment in that particular case?
It was a bond I had to pay, and of course never to get in trouble for such action again. And then just to keep my nose clean. And it was like, it was supposed to be community service, but we paid the bond and stuff. It would just take a step away from everything and everybody else and just focusing on me.
And were you able to get on a better path and stay out of trouble between then and now?
Yes, sir.
Because 15 and 17 doesn't sound like a big difference. I'm surprised they prosecuted that. Was that just because of the video?
Possibly. It also could have been because of just how the mother felt and also the father had felt seeing the video.
So her parents saw the video.
Everybody saw the video.
Everybody saw the video.
That was a very shameful day, and also this one too.
And so when that got out, what was that all over the school, I suppose?
It was all over WAFB News. It was a very shameful day for me.
It was all over what news?
WAFB. It was on the news.
And where was that news? In Texas?
No, sir. Out here in Baton Rouge.
In Baton Rouge.
Yes, sir.
So the video got on the news locally here.
No, the video did not get on. I'm saying my face was on there for me being in trouble.
So you got arrested by the police in that case?
Yes, sir. They picked me up from school. They were already there. They went through the classes and they pulled me to the side and talked to the principal. They called my mom, and then I was arrested.
And your arrest made the news?
Yes, sir, it did.
Back around 2016?
Possibly.
And the reason why it made the news was because you were charged with statutory rape and...
No statutory rape, no, sir.
What was the charge?
Personally, just... It's still off topic, but it's technically on topic. Don't you technically know the answer to that question?
I do, but I wanted to... Sometimes when we pull these records, it's not always clear.
It's going to be on my record.
Okay.
I've been having a pending felony for about I was 18, and I haven't been in any trouble since. But
Right.
like we said, we make mistakes, and I'm not going no further than 26.
So you pleaded guilty to that, and that was going to be held off your record as long as you stayed out of trouble? Is that the deal?
The deal was just to stay out of trouble. As to me pleading guilty, I do not believe so. I was going to court to do check-ins and checkups, and then they just stopped doing them. I paid the money out to my attorney at the time for it, and I just kept going on with my day-to-day life.
Okay.
Which took a lot of time.
And so this happened in Baton Rouge?
Yes, sir, it did.
Okay. And what high school was that?
I would not like to bring up the high school if I can, personally.
All right. And have you had any contact with the girl since then?
No, sir.
And tell me about your life since then. It sounds like you worked very hard to get yourself on track, to put that behind you.
But in this moment, that doesn't really matter because I'm sitting here right now and I'm thinking about the things and the possibility of a chance I could have had, the things I was trying to do, and I'm not able to do because of my actions.
Right. And what made you engage in this conversation?
The app that I normally use, which is every blue moon, I would say, every few months, it's like you meet a few people. You rarely actually meet somebody in person. It's very rare. I met somebody not too long ago of the correct age, and we hung out together. And this time was just a bad decision. That's what we're gonna call it. That's what it is, a morally bad decision. Again, I believe that I'm not that type of person, but I'm sitting here on handcuffs right now, so.
And why take the risk with someone who told you they were 14 years old?
Honestly, not really believing that they were of that actual age.
But that's what she told you.
But on the app, it did say that such age. But again, I'm not here to argue. I'm not here to start an argument. So,
I mean, it's pretty clear from the chat that she said 14. In fact, she says she'll be 15 soon.
on the app, it did say 19.
Well, a lot of kids get on apps and they say whatever they have to say to get on. But the fact is, she told you she was 14 as of this day. You had a sexually explicit conversation. You brought what you had discussed, Skittles, soda, water. Did you bring condoms with you? Condoms?
what's the next step in the process? I'm pretty sure me sitting in a police car.
All right. Well, what do you think ought to happen to you, Jonathan?
I know what's going to happen to me in the next few hours, I'm positive. So I know if I had a second chance that I would continue just to work the 3 jobs that I have and continue to move forward and be the better person that I'm trying to be. But that second chance already came to pass, and I was ready to go.
Well, what made you decide to risk all this?
Bad decisions.
Loneliness? I mean, guy to guy, tell me what trip it is.
Bad decisions.
I know bad decisions. We all kind of agree on that. But I mean, what was triggering? I mean, what makes you working 3 jobs? It sounds like you're a pretty busy guy. Decide to make this diversion, have this chat, then have phone conversations, and then show up at this house where you thought a 14-year-old girl was home alone. You showed no anxiety coming through the door, no depression coming through the door. You were on her like a tick walking down the hallway, thinking you're going to go right into the bedroom with her. I saw it. Had she stopped, you'd have bumped right into her.
No, sir.
Jonathan, I saw it. I just about needed a crowbar to separate you to get you to sit down over here. Then I asked you not to take off, but you did, and now you're in handcuffs. And all I'm trying to do is understand how the heck you got yourself into this situation, especially after being given a break previously and given the chance to mop this up. A lot of guys don't get a second chance. You got the second chance because you were young. And now the question begs, should you be given another chance?
That's a question that I feel like I would have to sit and talk to God more about. And
Talk to God. What do you suppose would have happened, Jonathan, had we not been here and had it just been you and the 14-year-old girl? What do you think would have happened?
I honestly don't think it would have went that far.
You were certainly moving that far down the hallway.
Also, honestly,
I saw it, Jonathan.
I understand what you saw, but I still know myself. Even if you give me a lie detector test, I know that it probably wouldn't have gone that far.
What about all this sex talk here? Yeah, you cool if I come over and give you this big dick today when I get off? She asks if you're okay if she was a virgin. I'll go slow, you say. Yes, baby, I will be gentle. Have you ever sucked a big dick before? We just made that up? Pretend?
I do not think it would have went that far, sir.
Well, that's what you said. You talk about her sucking your big dick. And then you follow her down the hallway. What other conclusion am I to draw from this? These are your words.
The conclusion that she put together, sir.
And you seem to suggest that I'd be wrong. And I want to know why you would say that.
There's nothing that I can say to make you feel like what I'm saying is right.
And why is that?
Because that would be irrational.
Exactly. So why would you engage in this sort of irrational behavior, Jonathan?
Bad decisions.
Bad decisions. That sounds like a bit of a cop-out to me. Oop, I chatted with a 14-year-old girl about sex. I came over to visit her. I brought the stuff she asked for. Just a bad decision. Second time I've done it.
No, sir, not in these circumstances, sir.
Well, not as a 26-year-old, no. But if you got into such a situation 9 years ago, and here you are again, it begs the question, how many times have you done this in the last 9 years where you didn't get caught?
No times.
No times.
No, sir.
You've got 3 jobs
I have 0 at this point, sir.
at this point. What were your 3 jobs?
I'd rather not bring them up, sir. Thank you.
All right, what do you think should happen to you, Jonathan?
I know what is going to happen to me, sir, so
What do you think that is?
I'm very aware what's going to happen to me, sir.
You're very aware of what's going to happen to you.
Yes, sir.
All right. You ready for that next step?
Nobody is. I'm not, but I mean, just as far as I go, and I have to understand that statistically I made it further than a few people, you know, and I'm thankful for that, but this is as far as I go.
You're thankful that you made it 9 years without offending.
I'm thankful that I made it to the age of 26 without making too many mistakes where I couldn't have second chances and opportunities that I'm not willing to miss.
And what will you miss most about those potential opportunities?
Opportunity to spend time with my son, opportunity to be around loved ones who care about me, and opportunity to make myself better on a day-to-day basis, even if it was just 1% at a time.
And so what's your plan now?
Well, realistically, I'm going to go sit in a cop car and wait to go to jail. And then from there, be prosecuted. Same thing as always, with my face all over the news. And it's just probably on self-destruct because I tried to be better than the things that they said that I was, and I made a mistake. And there's no going back from that mistake. Very remorseful for myself and to the opportunity to raise my son, which the right I'm going to lose.
And he's how old?
He is about to turn 5 next month.
About to turn 5 next month. And what's the punishment you deserve for this?
The punishment that the court system deemed necessary.
You're willing to stand up and face this?
Personally, I would not like to, but I do not have a choice in the right.
And what do you say to your son at this moment?
Dad, I love you, and I'm sorry that I did not become the man that you needed me to be for you.
All right. Well, Jonathan, thanks for talking to me. I appreciate it. There's some folks here who are going to take it from here, but before they do that, there's something you need to know, and that is I'm Chris Hansen, and we do predator investigations. You may have seen them on television before. And this is for an investigative series that we call Takedown. Have you seen those shows? The predator shows?
On Snapchat. That's why I understand everything that's going on.
So you've seen my stories before.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever think you'd be caught in one of those investigations?
I never thought I would be in this situation in general, sir.
Is there anything else you want people to know?
You can only continue to move forward no matter what happens. Just be the best that you can be. You know, smile, still be expressive, still be charismatic, but you just gotta keep making better decisions, and the good must outweigh the bad, and that's the end of the day.
All right. Well, this is the end of our day, Jonathan. Again, I appreciate it. These folks here are gonna take it from here.
No problem.
Take a right. Jonathan was pretty clear that the trouble he got into 8 or 9 years ago made the news here in Louisiana. But it sounds like he was given the opportunity to get past it. And today, he threw that opportunity away. So far, Jonathan is being charged with indecent behavior with a juvenile. We'll keep you posted on this case against him. Jonathan was given a second chance back in 2016. 9 years later, he throws it all away. And Sheriff Jason Ard thinks he knows exactly why. One of the men caught had been caught years ago when he was in high school, of age, but with an underage girlfriend, having her perform a sex act on him in a classroom. He videotaped it, the video got out, and it made the local news. And here he is
doing it again
years later. And he got a break, and he looked at me and said, my life is over at 26 years old. I've got a child. And to me, I'm thinking, you had a chance as a younger man to get it together, to get treatment, to get therapy, to not reoffend. And here you are throwing it all away years later.
doing it again. And all I heard was the excuses, almost to where he was trying to justify what he was doing. That was not his intentions, which I think most of them is not my intentions, although they brought condoms. What was your intention?
He played himself off as the victim.
Yeah, he did. And there were several that did that.
I'll never do it again. You let me go, I'll never do it again.
Never do it again. And we know that they will. And again, they had every intention. I mean, if you read the transcripts of how direct, that's why they're there. They came there for that reason. The only thing I can think of, and I think that it's just disturbing, it's just a gruesome type crime that's floating around in their brains. And this kid, this man is seeking out these kids, and it's just disturbing, Chris, it really is.
If you or someone you know is facing mental health struggles or just needs somebody to talk to, help is available. You can contact the 988 Lifeline or victimconnect.org for free and confidential services. WatchTrueBlue.com is home to the full library of Takedown with Chris Hansen true crime documentaries and exclusive investigations.